Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment's being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where professionals and entrepreneurs publish to grow their businesses and to leave a legacy. As you know, we're doing a series of business spotlights with remarkable people and places and things from across the country and even in your town. Joining me on this segment is Emmeline Craig. She's a fine art painter and a life coach. Emmeline, welcome to the program.
Hello, Mark. Thank you for having me.
Emmeline, tell me a little bit about your work and the types of folks that you help.
I mostly help women with the coaching. I also help men, but it's mostly women. And I mostly help them with issues when they are already successful in some parts of their lives, but still feeling either as a fraud or as not having the life they want or as unhappy no matter what. And usually it's a deep seated lack of self-love, and that's where I work the most with them.
I noticed you also did some consulting for fine art painting. Tell us a little bit about that connection as well, from fine art painter to life coach. How did you make that
Well,
connection?
I started as a painter and I ended up having a little success. So I opened my own gallery and I had that gallery for 8 years, and I was present in the gallery about 2 or 3 days a week. And I met people. And in parallel to that, I was doing a lot of self growth work, and I was myself being coached and learning all kinds of tools. And I found myself having very deep conversations with my clients randomly right off the bat. We would just engage in things that were important for them or for me. And I realized that it was going to be the next step, was going to be to be also a coach and to pass on what I had learned.
I noticed that makes a lot of sense. Your clients that are coming in for art, for example, they're talking about deeper things in life going on. Are there any commonalities of challenges these folks face? You mentioned a couple of things that you help with specifically. Can you give us some more examples?
Yeah, sometimes you have a life where you're very busy and you are getting up every morning and you are doing what you chose to do. You have a job, you have a family, you have all kinds of things going on, but you also live in a kind of unease somewhere and you don't know what's going on, and you're often beating yourself up thinking, oh my god, with everything that I got and that I do, I should be happy. And a lot of people who have a very rich life sometimes get to that point where everything they have been building and doing is still not enough, and they are looking for what is wrong. And there is nothing wrong, they just don't have enough time dedicated to work on themselves and know really where they are at and what they need and what is the next step for their own inner peace and their own happiness. They are just on a treadmill and it gets old. So, what I do with them is to create pockets of time. We usually talk every week on video calls, and we make a pocket of time where it's just for them to look and dig and explore and contemplate what they want to become from where they are, what they have already accomplished, what feels right, and what feels missing. And usually there is a bigger connection created with themselves during the work. And that changes everything for them.
Those folks that feel that emptiness or something missing in their lives, often people don't know what they don't know. What are some of the mistakes that they're making perhaps that are sabotaging themselves from success?
I think we never love ourselves enough. We criticize ourselves very, very quickly. We play old tapes that have been ingrained when we were young. If they were not positive, they are not serving us well, but we still play them in the background. We rarely, it's a society where being busy is glorified. So people never make the time to really sit, be quiet, be peaceful, not distracted, not double tasking, multitasking, and not taking the time to really feel if they are living the life that they wish for themselves, and how what they do every day is fitting what they really wish. And so they feel the unease, but they don't really are in touch with what they need to honor and what they need to do for themselves, or they don't take the time. They know it, but they don't make the time.
So, Emmeline, you mentioned that you came to your work as an evolution from challenges that you've learned to overcome throughout your life.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that inspiration and some of the things that you specifically went through yourself?
Yeah, so I started with a very bad bone disease. That's a genetic thing that made my bones brittle, and so I had a lot of fractures along my life, mostly in my youth. So I didn't have a normal youth. I did not go to school until I was 14. And then I went through adult life with every now and again fractures and accidents and all kinds of things. And I was always beating the odds and always doing better than was expected. But I was also not satisfied and not happy, and looking for love outside of myself. And I did not realize how much I needed to appreciate myself more. Even though I had not grown up like everybody, even though my body, my legs were showing scars, and I was handicapped. um, I did not realize how much I was not loving myself enough. And in 2008, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I was out of a marriage that did not work well. And I realized I had to change everything. And so I started with healing, and then I started a self-growth program with a mentor that is well known in the field, Mary Morrissey. And then from there, I did other programs with John Asraf and Bob Proctor and Rich Litvin, and you name them. I had all kinds of coaching and all kinds of growth chapters, let's say. And it really turned my life around, because I did that work that is deep seated, that is where you reconcile with who you are, what was your story, what happened to you. You're not a victim anymore. You just take what has been there all the time and you build with it.
What
You can learn
inspired
that. Sorry.
what inspired you to then go and share what you've discovered with other folks and get into life coaching yourself? What was that moment?
I just was so much more happy, you know. I became so much happier and I had so much more freedom. I stopped having a day job. I opened my own gallery. I did exclusively what I loved. Um, it was successful. I felt empowered. I felt freer. And how can you get there and not want to share it, you know?
Absolutely. Before I ask you my last question, Emmeline, for folks out there listening and resonating with your message, and they feel like there's something missing in their lives and they didn't quite know where to go for help, is there anything that I didn't think to ask you that you'd like to share with them?
They can get in touch with me and have a conversation with me without any strings attached, and we can see from there if we would be a good fit. I'm always available for that. I love conversations, so they can feel free to connect with me without being immediately certain that I would be the one right coach. I will talk with them for an hour or so, and we'll see from there.
That's terrific. And with that said, please share your information. How can people that want to get in touch with you find you and learn more?
So they can find me on my main website, which is emmelinecraig.com, where they can see my art and they can see the coaching page and get in touch with that. And that's Emmeline, EMMELINECRAIG, emmelinecraig.com. Or they can go to artistryoflifecoaching.com, which is my website for coaching. But on the main website, they find everything. EmmelineCraig.com From there, they can call me, they can email me, they can ask questions, and it will be easy for them to find me there.
Emmeline, this has been terrific. I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing with my audience today. I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Thank you, Mark. To you too. Great success and happy holidays to everybody. No matter what the circumstances are, let's do the best we can.
Emmeline Craig, she's a fine art painter and life coach. This segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where professionals and entrepreneurs publish to grow their businesses and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. Until next time, I'm Mark Imperial. Take care.